Welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. This is our weekly show where we bring you 3 to 4 interesting tech stories in the news, hit you up with a fun library fact, and get you on your way in about 20 minutes each week. As always, if there's a story you'd like to talk about, Creation Station at broward.org comes right to me, and we'll try to fit it on the show next week. Today, my guest is Erin Daniels from African American Research Library. How are you doing, Erin?
Good, good, good. How are you?
Erin is the programmer out there. So she is like the key background person that you never get to meet, but she's responsible for all this cool stuff that happens there.
Indeed, indeed.
You guys just did the drive-in
We
last
just
week?
did the drive-in,
Yeah.
yes. It was head above water. It was phenomenal for 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening at 4. It was wonderful.
Yeah. We'll be sharing out the hologram that went along with that too.
Oh yes,
Uh,
I'm excited to see that
Is
one.
it, wasn't it? It
Oh
is
yeah.
that's really fun. You guys have been doing some
Wonderful.
crazy, crazy fun celebration stuff there. And if
Yep.
anybody's noticed, yeah, I'm really happy to be celebrating our like. I opened that building up, and it's been great to see all these events going on throughout the year. So we're gonna do some fun things out there.
Oh yeah.
And we have some interesting stories this week. Let me go grab a browser and share it up for you. So our first one today is smart devices and how you can fight climate change on your own. This is an article I put up because I disagree with it because I don't think we can do. I mean, we have to do this. We all have to, right, Aaron? I mean, you're doing something to
I
help the environment, right?
I would say it's doing a little bit of something because it's not expending too much energy.
Yeah.
However, will it really affect us on the scale in which they're saying it shall? No.
I know. That's my thing. It's like, look, you and I can, we can turn our AC down a little bit, make it
Yeah.
a little bit warmer. Recycle your bags. I drive in an electric vehicle. I mean, I'm doing my part, but I know there's only so much I can do. We
Yeah.
really need, big oil. We need big corporations. We need governments to stop this and really take care of this. That being said, you should do your part, right?
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
so one of these things that they talk about is getting these smart devices into more hands so
Mhm.
that people will use them to help out with their feed. One example that they use in here is the, smart thermostats
Mm.
where it can adjust your temperature at your house up or down based on how often you're in, where you are, stuff like that. It knows, like mine this morning knew I left for work, so the air got warmer in the house, and it'll cool off at 5 o'clock, at just about
See,
the time I get home.
I'm weird. I won't turn that feature on. I
I've had
don't
it on
want
for
you knowing
years
when
and
I
years
leave
and
my house
years.
and when I come home.
See, here's the thing though. I have it set up that way because I program it, but I
Okay,
won't let FPL be in control of it.
got you.
For those not in South Florida, FPL is our local power company down here, and they do sell a version of these where FPL will take over for you. And yeah, no, I'm,
Won't
I'm,
do it.
I'm going to take care of it myself. FPL needs to do their work and reduce emissions and build more solar plants and not be charging
Exactly.
extra to build a solar plant. They just need to be doing it.
And I can't talk. I'm one of those people. Unfortunately, we live in South Florida where it's hot all year round, and I like it like 62. So
Oh, I would
I
die. I would die there.
I
Oh my
love my
goodness.
house freezing.
No, 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 no. We have arguments about whether it should be 74 or 76 in my house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, no,
No, I'll
no.
visit Bob, but that's it.
Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy thing. But one of the things that this article brought out, which I really liked, and obviously we'll put all the links in the show notes for you so you can go follow up on these. There's a nice little virtual power plant idea,
Hmm.
which is the idea that if everybody had electric cars, your battery in your car is fully charged. And so hurricane comes and you need emergency power for your house, you can power your house off of your car in a limited fashion. Or you could link bunches and bunches of these cars, and we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of cars in South Florida. You start linking those all together, all of a sudden you can store a tremendous amount of power for an emergency and be able to get through times and ration it out across society as a whole and everyone work together. It's a really interesting idea. Again, I'm not certain I want to give FPL control over my charger for my vehicle at home.
I'm a,
It's that
I
torment
don't
of
like that
I
much.
want to do my part.
Exactly. I want to do my part, but I don't want that much oversight. So I will build my own Tesla wall in my own home and
Oh, there you go.
and
Yeah.
be able to link it to you when I choose. But
That's not a bad idea. Yep. Not a bad thing. And speaking of that whole idea of what can you do out there, um, as I hope everybody knows, the western part of the United States is under historic drought. We're not talking like the worst in 40 years or the worst in 50 years. We're talking 1,200 years, 1,200 years since it's been this dry out west. Parts of California, Arizona, etc., are just bone dry. Some people are saying it's never coming back now, that the water's gotten too low that they'll never be able to get it back. They just can't. And so, in response to that, again, with the bad theme this week, apparently, Arizona just approved another 10,000 housing units for more people to move into a place that's already got a drought with no water. I don't get it. But I know, Aaron, right?
yeah, no, it's not even using your
However,
brain.
they do have salt water in
Mhm.
California because they're right on the coast and in places like Arizona, and that they do have water. It's just brackish water because it's underground and it's in an area that's the water has percolated through and has accumulated all sorts of acids, all sorts of various different chemical compounds that make it unfit for us to drink.
Yeah.
But they have figured out a way of getting some desalination for that water. And they can build these now about the size of a washing machine. So you could actually have these in all neighborhoods all throughout the West, pumping water up out of the ground, desalinating it, cleaning it, making it fresh water to be able to drink, and then it's called reverse osmosis is the process of how they do this. And then you push it back out and you get clean water on the one side and you get all the sediment accumulation on the other side for people to drink. And you can do this for extra power, and you need to start using a bunch more power to start generating fresh water instead of yeah. It's a great concept. It works really well.
It's a great concept that should definitely be looked at and
Yeah.
to be able to continue. Because even your water here, it should be extra filters. Buy yourself a
Uh-huh.
Berkey.
Yeah.
Because there's many things that go into just having clean water. So it's definitely an interesting concept that should be looked
Yeah,
at
and if you could
first.
power it cleaner using
Yes.
nuclear, using, whatever else, hydroelectric, something to power it,
Hmm.
then that would work really well.
Yeah, or
Which
fuel
leads us to
turbines
the other
on a
story
larger
about
scale.
this. That's the other thing. Down in Peru, somebody did that.
Oh, nice.
He
They're
took
looking ahead, looking
us,
ahead.
yeah, he took a skylight
Hmm.
and using solar power to as a filter and collecting that salt. Remember, we talked about the fact of you have to
I
take the salt out.
I heard
What
of
they
this.
do is you take that salt and you turn that into a battery to store power. And now you can keep your solar power light running longer because of the stuff that it's pulling out of the water, and it creates its own little battery. And it's a great idea and it's
Oh yeah.
really well done. And this is not something that's going to come. This is something that's in the market that people could build right now.
Hmm.
The only problem with it is The average person, you need about 2 liters worth of water a day, is how much you should be drinking. Half your body weight in water in ounces a day, or 2 liters is a good general number for everybody. And the problem is, in one day, his solar collector battery thing can produce about 400 milliliters. So you need a whole lot of these to be able
Just
to
to
give enough
the
water for
roof.
one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it works. It's like right now they're using it as an emergency type thing.
Hmm.
And there's a really fun video that goes along with this one to show how it works. They've got all their full design schematics right here for you to see and work on. And it is this is one of those great cutting edge technology things that might save us in the future because you just have to figure out how to scale this up better.
Hmm. And I like that. I like a lot of different technology that's a little more open source that puts it out there like this one is, so you can take it and try and reapply it, in other
Yeah.
scenarios. So yeah,
And it
that
just
one's
makes
dope.
so much more sense. And again,
Mhm.
this is coming out of Peru. So Peru or Chile? Now I just holy cow! I had it in my head that it was Peru, and now I'm going to read this again and say, is it in Chile or is it in
Chile.
Chile? Okay, I apologize. It is Chile. Um, I was thinking there was a different article. In Peru, they're trying something with ice and glaciers since all the glaciers are melting anyway,
Hmm.
but they haven't actually they haven't gotten it working yet.
Hmm. Gotcha, gotcha.
So the Andes are, yeah, just the same problems. Everyone around the world is trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
That's the point. We're all trying to fix this. And then we have a really fun story. Nobody who I talked to during my day today could believe I was going to talk about pants.
Pants. Why are we talking about pants, Bob?
So we're talking about pants because of two things. One, they are 3,000 years old, which is amazing. That
That's crazy.
these were woven, built, engineered, whatever words you want to be using, that they're still around. How many jeans do you have that have lasted, how many pairs of jeans or t-shirts have lasted more than a couple of years for you, right?
None. Yeah.
And look at these. Look at this picture. No holes in the knees, riding horseback, shooting arrows, going across the steppes of Asia. No holes in the knees, no nothing.
It's
These
fascinating.
guys figured out a way. And this story was fun because of a lot of the things that go into it. Of nowadays you would take, your shirt is has two or three materials in it, but they may stitch them together, or they may have something, when they do the reinforcing on your pair of jeans, they're actually sewing additional material in.
Hmm.
This pair of pants was woven from scratch with
Natural fibers.
4 different types of weaving in the same fabric of the same pair of things. They didn't like
Oh,
cut
wow.
things and sew them together. So you'll see here where there's different techniques that they used to make the crotch area
Hmm.
roomier and stretchier so that you could stride a horse with them. Where your thighs are gripping the horse is tougher, thicker woven. Your knees have the thickest part of it where you can actually grip with your knees. Weaving designs in and out of this along the entire stretch of fabric.
Look at all that innovation.
I know. Is this but we can't have this because it's too expensive to do something like this. They want to just throw out a, $10 pair of jeans that they can make, charge somebody can pay somebody 25 cents to make, and they can, sorry.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
happy topic. This is a really cool topic because I was like, wow, jeans. Wow, huh?
I
Wow.
love
And I was
this.
like, that is just amazing stuff for all these things. So it
Oh, yeah. And the
do you have
interesting
any
technology
old,
behind
yeah.
actually keeping it in archives and things like that too.
Yeah, you guys have that.
There's a
You
lot
guys
of
actually have an archive, real archive type stuff that you can do there and do and keep it there too. And again, I want to point out this is 3,000 years old, and one of the ways that it's done is by using twill as a form of that. Now, as soon as I mentioned this to someone, they were like, "Oh, well, of course it works then." And I'm like, what's twill? I didn't know about this until just now. It's like, turns out that that's what denim is how denim is woven, is using a twill. So you learn
very
something
tight.
every day,
That's fascinating. I love that.
isn't
That was
it?
a neat find.
I was like, wow, huh? And it
Oh
was
yeah.
impressed. I was impressed with the patterns. Like, this is all. And I'm like, this is a really interesting thing out there, huh? At first, I thought it was an April Fool's. I had to double check it. I was like, wait a minute, you're trying to get me. How's the pants showing up on my tech feeds today? But sure enough, it was there.
Oh yeah.
Now you've
It's
got
all
something going
about
on
engineering.
that's really cool too, going on over at your place this weekend, right?
Oh yeah, actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow, tomorrow,
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
yeah.
You gave
We
me a
have some
photo. Let me throw up a
tomorrow.
photo of it.
Yeah, it's
Here's
our
this,
Super
the
Bowl of
conversations that,
librarians.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tell us who these people are.
we're deeming it our Super Bowl of librarians, and these are four fascinating Black women leaders in librarianship. It's going to run tomorrow at 6:30 to 9, and we will have Sophia Noble, Dr. Evans, Nicole Cook, and also Tracy Hall with us. And we are ecstatic. And we have a special guest who will be there also, who will not be named, but she will be brought up, who is very close to home. So you definitely want to come out and see this.
Now you have to register for these.
Yes,
So
you do.
I'm gonna throw up the registration page so that people can see it.
Awesome, excellent.
Uh,
And you can go to broward.labnet.info/event and look under tomorrow, or you can, if you're actually typing it in, you can add a /6062/605, but just look for Black women leaders in librarianship.
and you're typing way too much. I just click on links.
We get a little bit of both. Some people might be listening and on
This
their
is true.
way, and
This is
some
true.
people
But
might be
please do
online,
register.
but please
This is
click and
one of those
register.
few that you actually kind of have to register for.
Indeed, and
Even though it's an online event, you have to register for it because there's some things happening in the background that they
yeah,
need
and
to take care of.
it's both. This is a in person, and we are
Yeah.
also live streaming it out. So if you click the registration, that is for in person. But if you look at the top, we'll also be live streaming
Yep.
it out, and you'll see a Zoom registration if you click that first link under the bold.
Yeah. Yep. Right here. Go ahead and click on that link right there, and it'll take you out to your Zoom registration for it,
So if you're
and
not
you can
here and
go in and
you
do.
can't come in, click that, and you'll be able to watch the presentation and this wonderful discussion.
Are the rest of the conversations at the center archived?
Some of them,
Yeah,
the majority of
as
them.
I was looking at this, it just occurred to me like, where do I get the archive? Where do I go back and look at the ones that I missed?
Yep,
Because this,
and we'll
you
have
guys have
to
been doing
actually put a
this.
collection of the ones that we do have up. So thank you for
Yeah,
mentioning that because
yeah,
I do try and make sure that we record everything just to have that archive. But we will be possibly putting it in there, but that's
yeah.
a
It,
wonderful
it's
event.
it's worthwhile, and it's a great series.
Oh
If you
yeah.
haven't paid attention to them over the last few years, that is something. It's been like a 3-year series now, 4-year series.
Uh, three,
Conversations at the,
I believe.
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe, yeah, 2 or 3 years now.
It's
One of
been
our,
some really interesting people have come through and had man, that one was like 2 years ago. I remember like there was like seriously like intense debate going on in that one. And I was just like, okay, guys, this is the library. Let's calm down. Let's
but
relax.
that's the purpose, Bob. Just
Yeah,
like
it
these are to
is.
spark conversation
Yeah,
and get your juices flowing. That's exactly what cultural conversations is,
yeah.
really to dig in deep.
It is so much fun. Thank you again for being here, Miss Erin. See, 20
Thank
minutes
you.
flew right on by. What did I tell
It
you?
did. I didn't think it would be that quick, but that was awesome. I loved it.
Let's throw up our final slide here. If there's somebody you want to see featured at, or a library that you want to see featured on the Tech Talk, bring it to us. CreationStation at Broward.org. We'll see y'all next week. Stay safe.
Bye all.